Hey everyone, welcome to laytreasuresinheaven.com. Today will be another object lesson. This one is absolutely one of my favorites. All you need are two forks. They need to be identical, otherwise it won't work. And the heavier, the better, especially if you can get more of the weight towards the back of the fork. You also need two toothpicks and a salt or pepper shaker. Not all salt shakers will work, but one that can fit a toothpick like this so it'll stand up straight is what we're going for. If you don't have a salt shaker that will work like this, you can also use the edge of a cup or a glass. So the idea of this object lesson is to have people take two of the toothpicks, have it balance on the tip of the toothpick like this, and then without holding anything, having it free balance in the air, having these two forks balance on the other end of the toothpick, again with no hands. When you explain this to people, they'll say, "You're crazy, that's not possible," but I guarantee to you that it is. So give them a few minutes, let them try. They'll become stumped within a few minutes, and then they'll give up. So the first thing that you have to do, and this is probably the hardest, is interlock the tines of the fork. I'd recommend using some older forks, or if you're going to do this frequently, to go out and just buy some forks that you can ruin, because sometimes the tines on the forks can get bent. So the way that you're going to do it is you're going to interlock the tines like this. You're going to have one tine go over, one tine go underneath, one go over, and one underneath, and then you're going to push them together so that they lock in place. So it looks something like this. So you have one over, one under, one over, and one under. Takes a little practice. And then you'll push the forks together like this until they're nice and tight. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take this other toothpick and you're going to stick it either in the first hole or the second. Doesn't really matter, but the last one doesn't work so well. Stick it in the first hole like this. Takes a little practice, but if you get it just right, the forks will balance on their own. Now, the heavier the forks, the farther out on the toothpick that you can get it, and that makes it a lot more impressive. Now, the lesson that goes behind this is a scripture that I use in Alma chapter 36, verse 7, which talks about small and simple things. So, toothpicks, salt shakers, forks, they're all really inanimate objects that we can find anywhere in our homes. But the problem is that if we take one of these forks out or one of these toothpicks out, it's not going to balance. And we can compare that to our lives as well. If we're not going to church, if we're not reading our scriptures, if we're not saying our prayers, they're seemingly small things, but when we put them all together into one, then our lives just balance. I hope you guys like this. It's a really, really great object lesson to impress your friends, and enjoy.